I think there are two main takeaways from the ULI Fall Conference this year. The first is that there's this enormous demographic benefit that the United States faces with the Generation Y coming into prime household formation years. This is a group from 15 to 30. Roughly, it's bigger than the baby boom, and it's going to drive real estate demand for the next generation. They have a strong propensity to own homes. They have a relatively conventional outlook with respect to suburban versus city locations. But I think it's a fact that they're going to face an economic challenge that's going to drive developers and cities to need to innovate in terms of the land use patterns and the unit production types. And I think that's good for ULI members, it's good for developers and those involved in the real estate industry because it's change, and that's when we tend to thrive. The second takeaway that I think is important is that debt is returning to the real estate markets. Right now it's concentrated in a few international gateway markets with high-quality assets as there's been a flight to quality. But I think it's clear that debt will be coming back over the next 12 to 18 months in a way that hopefully will stave off what we've heard of as the tidal wave of maturing debt and allow for a much more orderly resolution and market clearing process. My main concern for the industry as the economy starts to loosen up and starts to improve is really the pace of job creation relative to the challenge ahead of us. We lost so many jobs during this downturn that even with a robust pace of job creation, it's going to take several years to get back to where we were before this downturn. So that's a major concern, just the pace of demand growth that's going to bring us out of this hole. The most important trend that for me came out of our meeting was a rebalancing between real estate as a financial asset primarily and real estate as a tangible physical asset that exists in a particular location with a particular competitive position. ULI has always been a little bit more about the latter than it has about the former, and we're seeing, I think, a better balance emerging now. Right now, the market is somewhat bifurcated between the trophy markets, the great properties in the gateway cities, and really everything else. As we enter a stage where the everything else is going to reemerge to the front in terms of value-add strategies and repositioning strategies, that's where the bread and butter ULI members can really spot opportunities much more easily because they're on the ground in local markets and where they can really get involved and add value. And that's what really results in positive change in our communities.